we were singing. 2 snakes dropped in the church. 2 snakes, they dropped there. And they started to run. There are some deacons, they started to follow them. I said, hey, don't follow those evil things. You can't catch them. They are running. They ran away. Then I told the people that, these snakes they brought, someone brought them. I told you, don't bring your things here.
Hello. Thank you so much, followers of Adkin Ministry. Michael and I, we are so grateful to the Lord Jesus Christ for giving us followers such as you. Much, much love. This channel is about doing the works of the Lord Jesus Christ every day. Today, in our apartment, we received a guest here in Botswana. The woman of God had been in police for 26 good years until her early retirement. All the savings from her entire life, she used it to plant churches. One of the challenges that ministers of the gospel encounter, especially evangelists and all those who plant churches, is finances. Why do I say so? The gospel is free, but the means of taking the gospel, you have the bills to pay. You have a lot that need to be checked or paid when you are working. It's like bill like any other bill. Just here we are in Botswana and we don't know. We took a flight to come here and we have this such great woman of God here with us. We had to pay the flight. And Michael and I, we have gone through this journey and we said we are giving it all to him. And one of the things I've learned in my life is to trust him, trust the process. Join us as you hear this story.
Holy Spirit touched him.
I see. It sounds to me like there's a pattern, unless I'm wrong. You've said that you was in the. You said that you was in the police force for 26 years.
Yes.
And you worked. You wanted to wait till you got your pension, your retirement, so you could travel and do ministry and things. So this leads me to believe that usually that you move about on your own finances and your own money with your pension. No, that kind of makes it clear that the organization or nobody's really supporting you or helping you much. Probably even when you start this church, you have to pay for a lot of the stuff yourself to even get it started with your personal money and finances.
Yes.
Kind of like we do, because really nobody helps us. Whatever I earn in America working, we use that to come on these trips. I have to go back and work, come back, go back and work and come back. So you have to sacrifice your own money to even do the ministry. You're part of the organization, but that's just a covering, or you say an umbrella. It's not that there's really no support. It's you just go, you use your own finances. Even the people in these areas, they don't give much. If you didn't give your own money, you probably wouldn't even be able to start the church. Is that true?
I want to answer you on that. When I was crying to God that I want to finish the pension first so that I can do the work. Meaning that I had no one to finance me. Mm-hmm. Especially when I started the first church. The transport of going that side, I was given only 50 puller first time of saying, I want you to go that side and open the church. That was the only money I was given. Otherwise, most of the money I was going there up and down, my money for eating, my money for financing people, it was from my own pocket. But I want to thank God the other time, that man, that one who gave me 50 puller, there's another time he gave me these bags of old clothes. He said, give them to your husband. Give me 2, 3, but then a lot of clothes. He said, I want you to give to your people. That's it, because it was like a remote area. People sometimes they know. That's when I can say I was helped. From there, it was me to teach the people to give those tithe and small money. Those who don't buy tithe, just bring whatever you have. Then you can sell that thing and give it to tithe, giving to the main church to see that I have started a church. But mostly it was my own money. When I came here to Botswana, I used my own money. My own money. It was when the church was up now. When the main church, the umbrella could see that I'm doing something. The region, they came to see the church. Oh, Pastor Mazis, you've done great. Enroll in your finances. Then it's finished. They give me money. It's 380. I fill the gas.
But to get it started, you had to start with no support, your own finances. They only jumped in and started helping after you had the church started and founded.
After they've seen that I've already gone up, and I'm already in the track. That's when now they thought that no, we must help this girl. They started to help me, but I already started my journey. So this work of God, you don't have to look at people that they can do something for me. If you want to do it for God, you just do it with that money God gave you.
You have to sacrifice and use your own, your own time, your own finances.
Yes. Then God will send people now to help you. I had no money to come here. I had taken 3,000 in full, as 3,800. My husband took operated. So I had no enough money to come here. Then I said, but I have to come and see Susan and Michael before they leave. What am I going to do? I have got no money. I phoned my daughter. It's a daughter in Christ. Her name is like, you didn't see her. She was in the rollout. I phoned her. I said, I want to go to Botswana. I've got no enough money for transport. What man? Said, Mama, when do you want to go? She didn't ask me who to see or why, what. Just ask me, which bus are you using? When do you want to go? I said, I want to come with choose the morning bus. He went to the bus and paid the money. Let me show you the ticket. I didn't. It's now God. You see what he does? He uses people. Because I wanted to come and see you people.
Thank you.
The ticket was
Wow,
sent.
he sent you the
Ticket.
Wow, city bus.
600. It's not me who paid this. Paid by someone who doesn't want even a refund. Just paid for me to come here. It's God.
Wow.
So,
Wow.
I am. Did you show him? You want to see? So I'm saying this, that when you want to do God's work, don't look at someone to give you anything. Use that you have, that little you are having. Use it. Don't do. And God, when we are going there, when we are being called to go there, you don't go with anything. You just go as you are. If you've got any money you are hiding under the carpet, it's people when they are cleaning to see it. Otherwise, it will just go. So you are going to answer for yourself. You'll be like this in the coffin again. Straight. To see you, how you are doing the work of God. Are you worth to be rewarded? Because you will be rewarded. So your work must be worth to be rewarded. Don't worry about anything. Don't worry about people. Worry about God's people. Because if you are seeing him, you are seeing God.
Have you ever found, I don't know where the other 3 churches you started, were they in Zimbabwe or were they all in Botswana?
They are all in Zimbabwe.
Okay. Have you ever found any difference when you founded churches, when you started churches in Botswana, the difference in the ones you started in Botswana, the one in Botswana compared to Zimbabwe? What would you say is the difference between the 3 in Zimbabwe and the one in Botswana?
The difference is there, yes. The difference I found there is in Zimbabwe, there are some people, they don't come once. for God. They'll be testing. They'll come this week, next week. That's the people in Zimbabwe. Until they can see that, let me just. Here in Botswana now, they don't give up all their things they've been using one time.
They come to get healed, and then they go and they keep on worshiping their traditional gods.
Until they see that, that's when they will give up and give it all to God.
So the people in Zimbabwe surrendered more fully, quicker.
No, they are Zimbabwe. They come testing. They come third time, fourth time. That's when you say that no, I can just give up and let go. Mm-hmm. Whereas here in Botswana, they come to God. If they've been using their own things, their own traditional things, they don't surrender there and there. Mm-hmm. They take time to surrender because they want to be testing. Is this God proper? Is this God good? Can I follow him, this God? Because I remember the other time at the church, at the place there, I told people, when you are using your snakes, don't bring your snakes at the church. Because when they come at the church, I'm going to disable them. If you just enter that gate, that yard, you are disabled, whatever you're using, it is expired. So the other day, we were singing. 2 snakes dropped in the church. 2 snakes, they dropped there. And they started to run. There are some deacons, they started to follow them. I said, hey, don't follow those evil things. You can't catch them. They are running. They ran away. Then I told the people that, these snakes someone brought them. I told you, don't bring your things here. Because they are not going to work anything now if you're using them. So those people, I checked the people where they were all people who have been baptized, who were among those people where those snakes came out. Then I said to myself, that means these people, they have been baptized, they are coming to church, but they are still holding their things. So that's the difference now. They can come to church, but they're still holding their things until at a certain time when they've seen that God.
It seems like coming from America, if you ask me or my pastor from America about when we come to Africa or we go somewhere like that, it seems like when you talk about missionary work or missions, maybe because of where we're from and things, that when we come to Kenya or Tanzania or Uganda or Botswana or South Africa, it seems like a lot of people, especially pastors and churches, the church leaders mostly, because that's who we talk. Of course, we don't talk with the people, we talk with the pastors. Even you're a pastor, minister. So their idea of missions doesn't seem to be so winning and getting people healed and filled with the Holy Ghost and those type of things. When you talk about missions to pastors, at least in Africa so far, they always want to know, how much money are you bringing for this project? How much money are you bringing to buy, Bibles? How much money? Can you bring me a laptop? Can you help me buy a PA system? It's always equipment and money and laptops and money for this and money for. It's all about finances and money. It's not about when you come, we're going to have a crusade and we're going to pray for 1,000 people to get saved, or we want to see miracles and signs and healings. It's all about, what have you planned for the outreach? How much money can you bring? How much money are you bringing for the meeting? Have you ever encountered that, or you don't encounter that?
I encountered that, I know.
That's one of the things I wanted to know. Is it different about, when you're doing ministry in your home country, Zimbabwe, is it different than when you go to another country like Botswana? When you go to the people in your home country, is it the same way there, or is it a little bit different? I know you might not encounter it to the same level as we do, but you have seen that. There's always something that they don't really want Jesus and want to see souls saved. It seems like They want money or material things.
No, people are different in that way. What I want to explain to you through what I know through my knowledge is all these churches, they built themselves. So they, even in Botswana, I've been in Botswana and Zimbabwe. Lusaka, I just went there with a friend for preaching and I came back. I don't know much. But I heard that money thing being said also. Because they build these churches alone. So they take the money from the people. But how they are taking now is the one which is, you remember when you remember in, is it Chronicles, where it says David wanted to build the church for God. And God said, you cannot build a church for me because your hands has got a lot of blood. Your son Solomon can do it for me. You know how Solomon suffered? He had money only. He was taking those from Lebanon through the sea, those poles, to build a church. So these days we cannot find those trees like putting them on the sea. We take money from the people to build our own churches. You saw that church, mine. We are the ones who is building it. So for us to build it, it's either, it might be me, if I cannot ask it from the people, to build it. Because no one can do it for us. The main church is building also theirs. So the people who are on their own place are the ones who built it. So they have to ask money from people, those people in the church, to do it for them. But now, they'll be asking more money, which is too much. But it is to be asked in the church. The tithe money, the offerings, so that you can build and do the church, the God's work at a proper place. The money comes from those people who are coming there.
So if we ever register our ministry or we form our ministry, if it's Adkins ministry or whatever we call it, and I have a headquarters in Kenya or America, it's not really the headquarters' responsibility to pay for everything, or to every country we go to, that the headquarters has to pay for that church to be built. Yet people get saved, and then you establish leadership and stuff, and you want to get the local people involved, and you want to teach them to pay tithes and to give, because when they give and they pay tithes and they get involved, God will bless them for, and it'll make them feel part of. But it's not that everything comes from the headquarters or from the main from the founder. That's just the vision, that the local people need to participate in their church and building the church themselves. If I go out here and start a branch in Zambia, I shouldn't have to buy the land, build the church, pay for all the equipment, buy the seats and everything. Those people should participate in that, and I should try to get them involved. I shouldn't be in a hurry to go and pour money into that. Even if I should try to get them involved and teach them to pay tithes and to give, and God will even bless them for that.
What you have to do is, like in our church, I was given that thing. You know how I got it? Another man, is a headman of that area. He was sick with asthma. Then he came. I want to tell you how I got that plot. We should have bought it, but we did not buy. He came with asthmatic. Then when I prayed for him, he vomited. You know the bowl of a roll-on? It was like that. Then he vomited it down. Then he started to sweat. Then he was all right. Then he asked us, where are you having the change? Where are you? Have you got a place for the change? I said, no, they're just having it here under the tree. I said, no, I'm giving you a place. So when he gave us that place, it was free. Now it needs to be registered. The money for registering one is supposed to be coming from the main church. So they didn't register it because we are already under the umbrella of AFM. It's automatically registered. Now they wanted to take out those stones. The main church gave us money to take out the stones. To take out those stones. Then we started to take money from ourselves for putting the shade, for the shelter. You see that big man, that elder man, a bigger one, an older one than those. He's the one who gave us all those corrugated iron sheets to put there. So the main church now, which is our umbrella, which will be like your headquarters, is the one which is taking care of me now, the leader, who is taking care of, because those people, they need a shepherd for them to remain.
That's what I think. I think maybe if I had people, let's say that I was the one that's at your headquarters, I might not be able to. It's not exactly right for me to pay for everything, but I think it's a good idea for the headquarters, like you're saying, to give you something to
for food.
Give you something every month or something, enough to sustain you, to keep you, to help you along a little bit.
Yes, that's what they are doing there.
Yeah.
They give me something to sustain on me.
Each pastor, you ought to come up with a way that each church, each pastor of each congregation, that you develop it in such a way that you could give each one something to sustain them in the different branches.
Yes, like here in
maybe not fully, but at least partly. A little something.
That's what they are doing.
Enough to keep you alive and going.
So that you can manage to do the work.
Yeah.
Like in AFM, it's all over here. Each pastor at each assembly, they are giving here something to eat. Month ending to do something for her. Then the church will be taking a little bit of their monies, offerings, and what to build their own church.
But then the headquarters, in order for the headquarters to send each pastor like you something, they have to have a source of finances themselves.
No, the main church, there are a lot of people who are paying who are paying tithe.
Oh, it's bigger.
Offerings, yes.
It's bigger, it's wealthier.
Bigger. Yes, so the offerings at the main church, there are many. There's a lot of money that they can manage
Which means my headquarters needs to be in a place.
Yes.
You have to think and pray. You need to place your headquarters in a place where it's probably going to succeed and do well, because a lot of these branches in the villages ain't where the finances are going to come from. They're going to come from the headquarters in the city or somewhere.
Yes. Then the headquarters will be taking care of the pastor who's there, so that he can manage to. These people, they need a follow-up. If you just preach them and you go, they will go astray. They need someone when they come, have got problems, some counseling on their own, fighting in their homes. They need the pastor to be there. You talk to them, you pray for them, they go, they have peace. So that pastor needs something to be taken care of her or him, so that he can manage to do the work.
So that's even where this comes in. Not only so that we know who got saved, or we can send them a Bible, that, like, let's say you give these out to 10 people or 100 people, and you send Susan a copy of it to let you know who got saved, so we can give them a Bible. But that's only part of it. You know, when you give these out and you keep this and you send a picture of it to Susan on WhatsApp, you have the original card. Now you know the names of that man or woman, that family that got saved. You won't forget their names. Maybe you've got their phone number. You've got the local. Not only do we have it as the evangelist, but the local pastor, like you have it too. So you know, maybe you forget their John or somebody or Susan. Let's see, who was that person that prayed? Oh yeah, and you just go back and look at the cards. It was Susan that lives right over here somewhere, and you can go and check on them. So it gives you a way to keep a record of who came.
Like at the church, we've got a book, a counter book, where we've got all our Christians. You write them down. Then you'll be having all this also, so that you can send it to the headquarters, that they know that they've got. But
so they already do that.
You'll be,
So you're already doing that.
That's what you are doing.
That's what I said.
That's what you are doing. So you'll be having a record of in the books. Then you'll be having this now. You'll be sending them to the headquarters.
And now me has the overseer or the bishop or whatever they're called in your organization. When you send that list that you're talking about to the headquarters, that also shows them that you're doing something. That shows them this many people visited the church, or this many people got saved, or maybe even if you had a way to keep track of their testimonies, even that could be sent to the headquarters. Because so-and-so's marriage was put back together, somebody got healed, somebody got saved. So when the headquarters sees that, or or even your supporters, even if you had supporters, your supporters, your headquarters, you know, they're not there. They're not seeing all the time what you're doing. So that gives them a record. That gives them an idea. This branch is
growing,
and they're actually accomplishing something.
Yes,
and they're helping.
That's
the people.
what, you know. These umbrellas, we are under an umbrella. That's what we are doing.
See?
We have got all the books. We have got everything. We have got the elders and deacons, administrator, and everything. Everything that is done is in record.
See?
Then you know that we have got our senior pastor there, Mr. Tan. He knows that at this branch, I've got so many people. 3 elders, 2 deacons, and the elderly people, what. It all must be in written in black and white. So that you know that you are growing or you are going down.
So when you decided to start the first branch, according to what you're saying, the first 3 were in Zimbabwe.
Yes.
How did you decide when and where to plant your first church?
When what?
How did you know when and where to plant your first church? What made you decide to plant that first church, and how did you choose the location?
The first one is not me who planned to go there. It was my overseer.
Okay.
Who just told me that I want you to go. I want you to go and open a church in Mkowe. Then I told him that I was just from Bible school, just after being ordained. Then I said, I don't know anyone that side. He said, a person with a mouth cannot say that you don't have people who know. You know them when you go there. Then I had not to choose. They've already chosen it for me. Then I had to go there. And I had no problem at all. I just started it. I went to the headman, and asked him that, I am a pastor of AFM. I want to open a church here for the people to pray to God. They said, that church, we don't have it here. Do you think you can manage it? I said, no, it's not me who doing God. They said, no, you can go ahead. I said, give me a place to do it. They gave me at a school. They said, you can do that at a school because you have got no church that you can, when it is raining or when it is hot, you can use the classrooms. That's how I started.
Now we see a problem. Well, you might not have that problem, but I would. Let's say I go to some remote village in Botswana or some country, and we hold a meeting and people get saved, and you try to plant a church. Now, let's see, how do you say? You know, in these countries, nobody don't want to stay in the village. They're always looking for a way to go to the city. They're always looking for a way to do better or to go to another country. There's nobody that wants to stay there and has got a vision to pastor a local church. Nobody don't want to do it really. All the people, if they have a way, the first thing they'll do is look for a way out of the village. So to plant churches in villages and remote areas is a problem because, you know, I couldn't stay there all the time because I'd be traveling and going to Kenya, America, wherever, different places. So when you try to plant the church, it's always going to be a problem. You know, nobody don't want to stay in the village and take care of that church. They want to go to the city, or they want to go to America, or they want to go to Kenya, or they want to go to South Africa, or they want to go to Canada, they want to go to Europe. Everybody wants to get out of Africa, and everybody wants to get out of these countries. The first time they get a chance, they'll leave the village. So they don't even want to stay there. Even the preachers in the villages, when they meet you, the first thing that comes to their mind, I've met somebody from Kenya, I've met somebody from America, maybe they can connect me and help me to get a visa to leave this place. So even the young preachers, they don't want to stay there and minister to their people. They want to leave. So that means you're not going to meet you encounter very few people that has a vision to stay there in the villages. You know, it seems like that's going to be a problem planting churches in some places because even the preachers, they don't want to stay there. They want to come to Gaborone, or they want to go to Cape Town, or they want to go to Johannesburg, or they want to go to America or somewhere. They want to go to the city where they can make more money and do better. Nobody wants to stay in the village.
That's why I said it's a devoted thing
Mm-hmm.
inside someone. If you want to do the work of God alone, you just go there, you plant a church. After planting a church, you teach those people who are there, whom you know they cannot go to anywhere, they cannot leave their cattle, like that man whom I said is the one who gave us the corrugated, is a man who stays there. You teach him the work of God. You teach him how to do it. As Jesus said to Peter, follow me and leave this. I want to be the fishers of men, not of the fish. Then he's not going anywhere that one. Those people, they know that they are the people of that area. So if you teach them now the work of God, they will do it with all their heart. They've got nowhere to go. They are old enough. You saw them. They are old enough. They cannot go anywhere. But if they are taught the work of God and know that they've got the power in them, they can go ahead without thinking of going any far.
You know, the older people are more settled, like you talked about this man.
Yes.
Maybe his kids has already grown up.
You see.
Maybe he's got a wife, or they're older, or maybe their husband or wife has passed on. It seems like in a certain way, it would be better to train some leaders of the church that way, especially the older people, because they've already lived their life, they're settled, they're not in a hurry to move to the city. They're not going nowhere. They're going to stay in the village.
That's why whenever you want to start a church somewhere, you look for those people. If they come to God, they're the ones you deal with, to teach them. Because the Bible says you have to teach them to follow all these instructions and to do the work of God. So you teach these elderly people that they know that they are not going to go anywhere. They are there on their villages forever. So you teach them and you encourage them to do the work of God. Whenever you go, leave them, they've got no problem. Then when you keep on coming to them, encouraging them, coming to them, you are done. You don't teach the small children. They will leave the church and go away. But you look for the elderly people. I've got 5 there, 3 elders, big ones. All people who you know they cannot go anywhere.
And also, like when that headquarters gives that local pastor even something to survive on, that takes away some of their. One of the reasons they're in a hurry to leave the village and go to the city is to make money, because they don't have. It's hard to survive. So if the headquarters assist us a little bit, that takes away some of that. That makes them a little bit more willing to stay in the village.
So that he can manage to stay.
Yeah.
So that he can manage to teach, because you'll be having something to eat, something to survive on.
If you can help them to survive, that will cause them to stay in the village.
Yes, he can stand. That's what is happening
Your
in
turn.
me. That's what is happening in me.
And then you want to ask questions about, I know Susan wants to